A little bit like an IU fan, but I do want to publicly thank IU. I want to thank their president, their AD, their coach, players, fans, students. That was a very classy whatever they sent out. It was very classy and very well done and very much appreciated on maybe handling themselves without some of the things that needed to be said. So I take my hat off to them. As far as our team, I've had some incredible wins over my career, and I've had some disappointing losses over my career. And I've had a few wins that I didn't feel very good about. Not many. Sometimes we turn the ball over a zillion times at Michigan, 26 points off turnovers to our 7. You know, that bothers you. Sometimes you shoot, back in the day, 20% from the field, and that bothers you. But very seldom has one of our teams get outworked, out-hustled the way Indiana did it. And the 25-3 offensive rebounds is an insult to me, my players, and anybody who ever played here. So I was very disappointed in that. To find a way to win on the road against a team that took Purdue right to the wire, took Duke right to the wire, place was hopping here tonight, I think is an accomplishment. We had a 10-point lead most of the game, but yet didn't do any of the little things that we needed to do to go on and be a great team. And you know, this program has been built on heart and toughness, and tonight we weren't the tougher team. So I'm gonna try to take the blame for that myself, and maybe we'll get to bring the shoulder pads out again or something fun. Have a little fun with our guys, but other than maybe, I thought Cassius played pretty good second half. I thought Nick played pretty good second half when we got him in there because of the foul trouble. I thought McQuaid was our star tonight. And other than that, we had a lot of guys that just existed out there, and that was disappointing.
Something on the day when a lot of ranked teams, again, don't figure out a way to win. Even with the way the stat sheet looked, is it kind of one of those, well, we get a win and we can at least get out of here with that?
You know, Matt, I'd say yes. Normally I'd feel that way. Like I said, if we would have turned it over 100 times, if we would have shot 20%. But to go against what our program stands for, the rebounding and the toughness, it's hard for me to do that. I'm sure by the time I get on the plane, by the time I get home, I'll feel a little different about that, because I'll appreciate the fact that we did win a game in a hostile, great atmosphere place. I mean, you know, I can't speak enough about that. And Archie did a good job. His kids played so hard. You know, when he started McSween, it reminded me of me starting Antonio Smith, you know, and maybe couldn't shoot or couldn't do this or couldn't do that, but kid played so damn hard. It was impressive.
Tom, what do you want to see from Miles Bridges over the next month? Where would you like to see him take his game?
Well, tonight was an oddity. You know, Miles has had 5 big games in a row where he's, for the most part, I think, played very well. And tonight he starts out, I think he scores 5 points early. And, you know, first time that I was a little disappointed in Miles, you know, on the rebounding part, a lot of different parts. I mean, he gets 8 rebounds, but he gets no offensive. And, you know, I don't know, you know, maybe we are a little tired. You know, we've had a rough stretch here of games, and some of them close together, and we've been on the road a little bit more, and going back on the road on Tuesday. So, you know, I need him to be more into it, but it wasn't his lack of motivation. It was just they did a good job, and we did a poor job putting him in a position to score. So, as always, it's not all his fault. His fault is every loose ball that was there, we didn't get any of them. I don't think we got any of them. That's our fault. Some of the things offensively, that's probably my fault.
The last stretch here, I mean, it's 5 of the last 7 on the road. You've seen some resiliency from these guys in 3 of the 4 games, 4 of the 4 games you played. What do you got to do and see more of from them down the stretch here?
Yeah, you know, I think we got to become tougher. I mean, that was pretty evident tonight. I mean, we got beat up. I mean, that was an old-fashioned game, and my radio guy said it, one of the referees said it, you know, it's an old-fashioned Big Ten game. I said, no, it's not. There's only one team fighting. The other team was getting pushed around. the old Big Ten games, or Michigan State, Purdue when it's a fist fight, or Michigan State, Minnesota when it was a fist fight. This was a one-person fight, and you know, maybe I'm being too hard on my guys because maybe maybe these road trips, and we're still young, but we're going to find a way to make sure that if we win or lose games, it's not going to be because of the effort we give, the toughness we show, or the lack of rebounding. We're going to have to fix that, and it hasn't been a problem all the time, but sure did rear its ugly head tonight. And in saying that, we go to Maryland, packed house, crazy crowd. They're playing the number 4 or 5 team in the country. As you said, today there is worse upsets than Michigan State would have gotten beat by Indiana. You look at some of the teams that lost. But just hard for me to stomach watching that ball bouncing around the floor and us not get it in.
Tom, some of the shot selection, some of like the long twos and tough twos and things like that, how much of that is just, the defense and versus just poor shot selection?
I think they took us out of a lot of stuff, and we seemed to step slow all night to me. We run in a backdoor play, and we come out of a huddle telling them one thing, and they did another, and, it's not defiancy, it's not that. I think I think we just mentally, we played music the last 2 practices to try to simulate this crowd, and I don't know if the crowd got to them. That'd be a good question to ask them. But we played in tough places before. But once in a while, I forget we got a bunch of sophomores and freshmen that struggled a little bit tonight too.
Tom, good teams can find a way to win even when they're not playing their best. So is that something that you can look at?
That's why I told my team that that's the silver lining. Except that the way we did it, as Mike Garland said, over the years when we were both here, we got beat by Wright State. We lost to Penn State and Northwestern when they weren't very good. But we lost because we probably shot 20% from the field because we couldn't shoot. We didn't lose because it wasn't a tight game because of our lack of getting after it. And tonight we lacked getting after it, guys. I mean, we did, and maybe it's their fault, maybe it's my fault, maybe it's nobody's fault. I mean, we do got to give Maryland credit. They played their tail off against us that first half. We do got to give Indiana credit. They played their tail off the second half. We probably got to give Michigan State some credit that we found a way to win a game.
Matt McQuaid obviously has had his ups and downs, but to see him be able to step up and hit that big shot late. How much?
And those 2 or 3 in a row, whenever he got, going. I mean, that's the Matt McQuaid that we thought we had, and I thought he did a pretty good job defensively too. And Matt was the 5-star today. There's no question about it. And I know the players were excited for him. I know nobody was more excited than Miles. He shoots with him all the time, so that was a positive.
I know that the offensive rebounds, you talk about the effort a lot, but is there a balance you want to see between going for the block and going for the defensive rebound?
Yeah, that's sometimes a problem. But Jaron got some big blocks early. He did a good thing, but he blocked them, and the ball went around, and nobody went and got it. Cash's first thing he said, our guards, and me included, didn't do a very good job when Jaron got some blocks early. And then later on, Jaron just looked really tired to me, really tired. He's falling down, running back. It's I'm probably not giving enough credit to the fact that this young team is having to stay up at a level that everybody's peppering them right now. You go everywhere and everybody's going to get after them. I mean, look at Duke and St. John's today, and I say, how did that happen? They just lost 11 in a row, young team. And so we'll regroup and I'll figure it out, and hopefully we'll do a better job. But it's just a little bothersome when it's in that area. Is that fair?
Tom, the defensive effort satisfy you?
It was decent. I mean, they shot 28 and 21. I should be tickled to death. I mean, those are unbelievably low numbers at home. They score 60 points. They go 4 for 19 from the 3. But that should be, when you shoot 50 and 50, that should be a 20-point win, and because of their effort. And I give us some blame, but I give them a lot of credit. I mean, the job he did putting McSwain on Ward. That kid's a tough kid and did a good job, and I thought it was a fist fight in there. So
We'll take one more.
Looking at Jaron's stat line, was the 25 minutes, is that where you wanted him? Could you get him involved?
probably not right now. I do want him there, but I think when you go 3 games in this stretch and on the road, and you know, and you know what I'm looking at is I'm trying to adjust to a lot of things in this new millennial, you know, and one of them is, you know, we've really gone light in practice because we just have so many days and so little practice time, and we've gone light, and you know, instead of it helping us, maybe it hurt us. So maybe the blame is right here. And I told them on the way home on a plane, I'm going to talk to guys and see what they thought of the practices. We're going to figure it out. But, you know, guys, we're 21-3. And I was asked on my radio, you know, I guess this either moved ahead of Gene Katie tonight. And I said, the only guy that's happy about that is Gene Katie, because we beat Indiana, you know, and that would be Gene Katie. But I wasn't very happy to kind of get to a milestone in a way that hasn't been Michigan State-ish. So hopefully I'll cool down as the plane ride goes, and hopefully our players will understand that you can't win big games doing what we did tonight. And we can shoot bad, we can turn it over, but we can't lack the toughness and the effort that we did tonight.
Tom, just 2 things to clarify, because we're not sure, we're not gonna get you in a non-game situation.
Oh, maybe we'll start doing that again, you know.
I was just gonna ask you, when you said there's gonna be a time to talk about the other stuff, do you intend to go at the end of the season before?
You know, I
before
really
that?
don't know. I looked at it and I thought about it and I looked at all the, you know, the multiple ongoing investigations with which we've cooperated with fully. It would be, I just think it's inappropriate for me to say anything right now. You know, our whole focus is really, because I'm trying to keep things on the up and up, our whole focus has been in the healing process for those survivors, the healing process for our university and our community, and for me to coach our basketball team. And so I don't have a date, but I will. You'll be working on it. The day will come sometime. I promise.
Are there going to be are some of these investigations going to be in season? Are they going on right now?
Going
Yeah,
on right
the
now.
Attorney
They
General.
started. I mean, you.
Right.
must read the paper.
Anything new that's coming up right now that you would be participating in that you wouldn't have foreseen? That's what I should have asked.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. But I have no idea. You know that I mean, there's like 4 investigations going on, isn't there? More. I mean, you guys would know more than me. I'm trying to coach my team, but as long as those investigations are going on, you know, if this was any other walk of life, there's an investigation on something going on, nobody can talk. So, again, I actually appreciate that you guys ask me a lot of basketball questions, and yet I understand what you got to do. So,
What have you done as of now for the
Thanks, guys.
survivors?
I'm not going to speak on that right now, but thank you. Thanks, guys.